Jeremy Mulfay here with Fundamental Tennis. I want to thank you for your questions and your passion and continued support. I am excited and honored to say that I have been invited to an event, a great event called TennisCon. This event is the first and only online instruction dedicated specifically to 50-plus-year-old players. I will be discussing double strategy and the technique to accomplish these strategies. This event has dozens of world-class coaches, so you have got to check it out. Just look up TennisCon, that's Tennis C-O-N. Now, in preparation for this event, I have been super busy, therefore today's video is going to be short and sweet. However, I think there is some great information here regarding the toss and helping you have a more reliable and accurate toss. These 3 tips about the toss are tips that I think you have never heard before. So let's dive right in and start the video. The first tip to help you have a more accurate serve toss is all about how you hold the ball. Now, I think many of you have heard that you should not hold the ball in the palm of your hand when you are in the tossing phase prior to releasing the ball. And I certainly agree with that, although I think many players hold the ball too close to the fingertips sometimes when they hear this, and this often causes the player to release the ball too low or too early, causing the ball to go too far in front. So I think a great place to have the ball is in between the palm and the fingertips, and that is so that the center of the ball is on the mid finger pads on your fingers, okay? So this, again, the center of the ball is on the mid finger pads on your fingers. Now, that is just a bonus tip. What I'm talking about right now, however, is that there should be space between the fingers. So you see how my fingers are jammed together? There should be space between the fingers. A lot of players have their fingers scrunched up together. The fingers are too close. This causes the player to have the ball often roll in the hand during the release phase, which of course can cause a lot of bad tosses. So space between the fingers act as a clamp around the ball because we want the ball to leave the hand in the same place that the ball started. We don't want the ball rolling in the hand, so these fingers, about at least a finger width of space between each fingers, although it does of course depend on how big your hands are. We want space between the fingers so that when the ball leaves your hand, there's no rolling. It's very helpful to have a more accurate toss and a more accurate and repeatable release point. Now, the second tip is all about the left-right movement of the tossing arm. So we've got space between our fingers. Now, a lot of players will do the following. They start with their arms too much pointing towards their target as if they're holding a gun or something. So they're facing the target too much with their chest. Now, first of all, we should already be fairly sideways in the beginning phase in the serve ready position. Now, the problem with this is if we have our arms pointing directly to the target as opposed to being slightly sideways, then when you do turn, hopefully you turn, your tossing arm is going to have this left-right movement. So watch closely again. See how my tossing arm has this left-right movement. Even players that don't start like this, I see this exaggerated J toss, and we don't want that. What we want is to have the tossing arm go straight down and straight up. There should not be any left-right movement during the downward and upward phase of the tossing arm motion. So here are a couple examples of me tossing with some space between my fingers. I've got that clamp around the ball. I also am starting in nice alignment where I'm already fairly sideways here, and I'm just going to go straight down, straight up with my tossing arm. I am not doing any left-right movement. So check this out. I go straight down, straight up. My tossing arm should be at about 2 o'clock. If there's a clock around you as a righty, there's another bonus tip for you. One more time, space between the fingers. Arm goes straight down, straight up. No left-right movement in the tossing arm. Now, the last tip is about tempo, or the speed and rhythm of your tossing arm. This is another very common issue I see with players, is as they're coming out of the ready position to start their serve motion, the tossing arm goes way too fast. There should not be acceleration in the tossing arm when you're bringing the tossing arm down towards your inner front thigh. So if you go like this, then it's going to be difficult to control the ball because you're simply doing the motion too fast. Okay, so the second part to the rhythm or the tempo of the tossing arm is after we go down slowly, as I just said, with the tossing arm, when we bring it up, we should gradually bring the tossing arm up. So it wouldn't be so great either if we go down slow and then suddenly we accelerate too fast. Okay? A lot of players go too fast, or they abruptly stop their tossing arm as soon as the ball leaves the hand. We want to gradually bring the tossing arm down and then gradually bring it up. So one more time. See, the tempo is key. If you go too fast, or there's a herky-jerky motion, a sudden abrupt stop anywhere, or you're just accelerating before it's time to bring the tossing arm up, then it's going to cause a lot of inconsistencies with the accuracy of your toss. So one more time, tossing arm down. You see how the ball landed right back in my hand without me having to move or tilt my upper body. That's a sign of a good toss. That could be a drill right there in and of itself. So I would like you to give me a like if you enjoy this video, subscribe, and hit that notification bell if you haven't done so already. I really enjoyed making this video. I hope you found value in that. And once again, check out that tennis con. That's going to be me again and other coaches as well. And I'm really looking forward to hearing from you all about this video and hopefully checking out TennisCon as well.